Hello, everyone. This is the greatest travel podcast in the universe. Most likely. I'm your host, Fraser Laveay, inspiredtraveleat.com for all your inspirational travel and eating necessities. And today, because I just came from a very romantic place, beautiful, and it's Valentine's Day, I thought no better time than to talk about the best couples romantic trips to go to. And I'm going to stick to mostly from North America because that's where most of my listeners are. So if you're in Croatia or Kazakhstan, I'm sorry, it's not for you. You can just turn it off now. But if you have plans to visit Central and North America, then please carry on and listen all you'd like to. That's lovely. And I know maybe some women are like, oh, I'm not going to listen to this guy, a male, talk about romantic couples locations. And I'm here to tell you, it's 2024. You can't say that anymore. Maybe men can be more romantic in 2024. So I'm about to show you exactly what is up. And a quick rant, because we know I love to rant. And I quickly Googled like romantic places to travel just so I didn't forget anything. And it's bullshit. And I'll tell you what, this is why you need bloggers, real people. This is why you need podcasters. This is why you need me. The only reason I make a living off this is because like the generic stuff you find online, like the first two things that came up were Condé Nast Traveler, which is huge, and Bazaar Bride. Not Bizarre Bride, but like Bazaar, the publication for weddings and brides. And I'll just start right away. Let's go to, it's lazy. One, they're lazy. They don't bring in, like, if you want to skip this rant, skip at 3 minutes and you'll get to the goods. I think this is the goods, to be honest, but teach their own. It's lazy. Like, you don't need Google. I'll just go through and I'll give you examples. Some quick ones, right? One, Greece. First of all, Greece is enormous. And second of all, that's a lie. I think anyone who's been to Greece knows it's overrated. I don't want to call it the most overrated place on earth. Everywhere is beautiful. You can have a great time everywhere. Like I said, aside from like Hamilton, respectfully. But maybe Tucson. But yeah, Greece is just overrated. People who have been there, you know what I'm talking about. Like Santorini has 3 streets and has some nice restaurants, some nice outlooks, some nice hotels. But overall, to get there and the value bang for your buck, no. And I mean value like time, everything. So that's a lie. 2, Colombia, another lie. I just went there a year plus ago with an ex significant lover. What's significant other? Significant. That should be a thing. Significant lover, because I mean they are a significant lover and a significant other. I just went to Colombia. I went to everywhere you should go, and the beaches are terrible unless you take like a boat like 2 hours out. And I did stay at some gorgeous places, actually, to be honest. It is beautiful, but it's busy, dirty-ish. It everywhere again. It's just it's not number 2. So no. Also, these pictures are like from Getty Images, which is a stock image company, which you can just grab off the internet with a subscription, which tells me the person who wrote this hasn't been there, is literally just grabbing images. Who wrote this piece? Tom Marchant is a co-founder of luxury travel company and trip planner Black Tomato, which delivers luxe experiences around the world via inspiring itineraries. I mean, if he did that, he would have his own good pictures. Sorry, Tom Marchant? Yeah, I don't mean to shit on you, Tom, and I'm sure you have been there. I just don't like your list. And it seems if you don't have your own pictures, you haven't been there. recently. So, they've got Western Norway. That looks beautiful. I don't even know how to, the Sunmore Alps in Lofton. I can't talk shit about that. That looks really beautiful. Puglia, Italy. I love pugs. I've heard Puglia is pretty. Well, nothing wrong with that. Zanzibar, like Portugal, nice. All right, Maldives. Again, I mean, not everyone can just pick up and go from the Maldives. I guess this is the world. That's fine. That's Harper's Bazaar. But the one Condé Nast they've got in the Maldives, which I don't need Google to tell me that. Amalfi Coast is number one, which again, it's like everyone's got that picture as their screensaver. It's one of the prettiest pictures on earth. I don't need Google to tell me that. Santorini, Greece, already said that. No. Paris, France, number 4. I don't need you to tell me to go to Paris. This is why I'm researching. Oh, Paris is a romantic couples place. I never would have guessed. No, give me some good stuff. Give me some grit. Give me something I wouldn't know. I'm not Googling stuff that I already know. I'm sure it's under like the motto of Google. It's like search for things that you don't know, like a dictionary, which I never understood a dictionary where a teacher would tell you to look in a dictionary for things you didn't know how to spell. It's like, motherfucker, I just told you I didn't know how to spell it. Why would you tell me to look in the dictionary? That makes zero sense. I wish I had better examples. I always hated that. Hated a lot of my teachers. I loved a lot of them too. Not a lot. I loved a couple of them that were really good and helpful. Bali, Indonesia, lie. Tulum, lie. It can be romantic again. It's just 15 years ago, 100%. Bali, like, is just busy. Tulum, busy. But let me get into I can tear apart people's lists all day. That's not what we're here to do, because it's 7 minutes in and I haven't given you what to do. So let me open up my notes and give you some places that are easy-ish to get to. I would say some aren't, but yeah. Number 1, the Westgate Sportsbook in Las Vegas. $5 beers. You go to the sportsbook, play some bets. I'm just kidding. Imagine being like someone who doesn't like that, or just, I'll say it. I don't want to get in trouble. Imagine a woman, you're like, just listen to me spout bullshit for 7 minutes. And I was like, go to Las Vegas to the sportsbook. That's just a joke. Where I was recently is up there. Nosara or Samara. 2 different places, an hour apart, 45 minutes apart, in Costa Rica. Gorgeous. One of arguably the nicest places I've ever had dinner was in Nosara, and just stunning. It's lesser known. It's 3 hours, 2 hours and a quarter, or 2 3/4 from the Liberia airport, which Southwest flies into. And it's just so relaxing. There's yoga, there's good restaurants. It's just a very chill vibe. It reminded me of like a Tulum 15 years ago, a Bali 15 years ago. These are the places I want you to see. Not go where everyone goes. Not go where it's the same old nonsense. That's the point of being a blogger and not Condé Nast traveler using pictures, because they don't even have their own places. But I'm going to write more about Nosara and Samara. Samara is smaller. Nosara is bigger. It's got more restaurants. I would go there first. But I still love Samara as well. But it's a little bit more backpacker-ish. So, and the sunsets, it's just got everything. It's expensive as hell though. Oh my god, it's basically like California. So that's the only drawback to that. I always say this part, but Sayulita in Mexico is one of my favorites. Just, it's so easy to get into. Like from Phoenix, it's a 2.5 hour flight. From LA, same or less. It's just easy and it's beautiful. It's a quaint little town. It's getting a little bit busier, but still nothing silly like a Puerto Vallarta or a Tulum, Cancun. Gotta go. I can't say enough. I always say that. Love it. Back to Tulum. I will say you can go, and it's just really busy. If you're like a party couple, then go. it's definitely more of a bachelorette vibe. Again, I've been there with a significant lover or other, and you can still find amazing romantic places to go, but the beaches are busy. It's more of a day club scene, not the relaxing. I just wouldn't do it. It's just not. It's too busy. If you are an adventurer, I'm going to send you far away. So sorry, slap me on the wrist for this one, but Cusco in Peru is one of my favorite places in the world. I don't know if it's like a 14-hour flight. So, I mean, you definitely need to go for a while. But if you're adventurers, it's a gateway to Machu Picchu. The town itself is unreal. It's so cheap when you're there. It's literally 50% the cost of like Nosara and Samara, Costa Rica, and cheaper than Mexico. You can live like a king and queen or whatever you want to be, king and king, queen and queen, all those things. Don't cancel me, sorry. And it's beautiful. It's also the Sacred Valley is there. It's gorgeous. So that's one's kind of far. Siesta Key, love Siesta Key. It's an hour from Tampa Airport, I want to say. Or no, there's another airport. It starts with an S. Sarasota Airport, I think. Um, very quaint. It's very chill. Like there's a few really nice restaurants, like upscale restaurants, and then a ton of just beach bar, beach bum type restaurants. Go in there with your flip flops and just have a margarita, pina colada, whatever you like. The beach is pretty. The water is warm. It's great. If you want a relaxing, easy trip, check out Siesta Key. Love Siesta Key. Staying in those kind of vibes, Laguna Beach, just like the shows have said, it is incredible. The restaurants, the views, I loved it. Laguna Beach is just wow. I can't say enough about it. Huge fan. Check that out. If you haven't been. I mean, it's pricey, but I don't think it's more expensive than the rest of California or even like high end places in Arizona or Colorado or anywhere really. So while it is expensive, it's not crazy, crazy expensive like you think it could be, and it easily could be if it wanted to be. Sedona in the winter. I throw in the caveat of Sedona in the winter because there's like fireplaces, or at least when it's cold. So there's fireplaces and s'mores, and you kind of cozy up. It's adorable. There's wineries. There's hikes if you want to do some hikes, spas, really great restaurants. I've got a whole like 40 articles on Sedona. So big fan. And also I like it in the winter because the crowds are way less, and maybe you get lucky with like some snowfall, which the red rocks in the snow, beautiful sight. Check that out. It's less romantic in like the busy season, which is middle of fall, middle of spring. But yeah, love it there, especially like I said when it's cold. I've got a ton of stuff you can read about that. Harder to get to, but Kauai is my favorite island out of the Hawaiian Islands. A lot of people shit on Oahu. I actually didn't mind it. Like it's kind of cool because it's really, you can't go wrong. Maui I just feel like is very, everyone goes there. And even Oahu, everyone goes there. So that's tough. But the thing I liked about Oahu was it was like a giant city on the beach. So you kind of walk around the coffee shops, do all that. But then you're like a 30-minute or an hour drive to just some great hikes, to some quaint locations like on the west or east side of the island that are just less traveled, less people, but still stunning. So much stuff to do in Oahu. So I would even say Oahu because it's cheaper to fly to than Maui and Kauai. But Kauai is stunning. It's just so beautiful. It's way less traveled than Maui and Oahu. And I say check it out if you can. Might be cost prohibitive, but so much adventure stuff to do, surfing, incredible beaches, quieter, of course, and just the between like the green and the mountains and then the ocean, it's amazing. The other list also said Fiji. So Fiji and Hawaii, I feel like are the exact same thing, but just like Fiji is Australia's Hawaii and vice versa. But I didn't love Fiji. There is an island I wish I went to that's a little bit more natural and nature-ish. But it's if you're not like a millionaire, it's not that great. We went to 3 different relatively nice, like let's call it 4-star places. And like one, the beach was rocky. One, the beach is really small. So like unless you're one of these people that can book out the gorgeous giant 5-star resorts, I just don't know if it's worth it. I actually I will say it's not worth it. So not a fan of Fiji. Hawaii though, I love because it's cheaper than Fiji and there's also way more stuff to do outdoorsy. And Fiji's a bunch of islands. So once you're on that island and you like have to get off the island to do other stuff versus if you're on one of the Hawaiian islands, you can do a ton of stuff just on that larger island. A ski trip. Let's get to a ski trip. And that's pretty much, I've only got a couple left after this. I don't want to say they're all the same, but I would just go to one that is easiest for you to get to and you'll still have an amazing experience. Aspen and Jackson Hole are hella expensive, so maybe don't do those unless you're got the means. Cool, then do that. But if not, like it's still an expensive trip. I try to stay away from telling people to go on snowboard and ski trips because like lift tickets are like $200 a day now. So that's $400 for 2. The hotel prices are almost double like Mexico. So in one day you're already spending triple what you could spend in Sayulita. Like Sayulita right now, you can go get a 4-star for $200 a night, maybe $250. Or you go to Colorado, Aspen, Lake Tahoe, Big Bear, which I love all these places. But you go to those places, already $200 down per ski ticket. That's $400 for 2 of you. Hotels are $300 to $400 minimum. Or you lay on a beach in Mexico. I also grew up in the cold and snow, so I like to go where I didn't grow up in. But if you are to go on the ski trip, which is romantic, cute, quaint, like I said, Big Bear is really cool. Has exceeded expectations. Vail, obviously. Steamboat Springs is really like smaller and pretty and beautiful. Telluride, another one of those in that realm. So those two would be kind of unique to go to if you're easy enough to get to. And where else? Did I say Lake Tahoe? Park City, another one. Any of those you can mix and match. But again, then you also have to rent a vehicle from Denver to get to Vail, or from Reno to get to Lake Tahoe, or from Park City. It's on the tip of my tongue. Who's going to help me with it? Salt Lake City to get to Park City. So it's just to go on a ski vacation. It's turning into a nightmare. Just the cost of ski. I couldn't imagine having like a family and having a middle class income and trying to take a family on a vacation to Vail. That's like a $7,000 trip. It's insane. And kids, it's cold. They'll hate it. I don't know why I've been so negative on these podcasts lately. Kids on the beach, again, just using Sayulita as an example. Boom, $250 round trip, maybe $300 round trip. There in 3 hours, take an Uber or taxi, 45 minutes, check in on the beach same day. Bang, done. Even Manuel Antonio is hard to get to. It's 5 hours from. When you're in Costa Rica, you can fly. There's a couple like smaller Costa Rican airlines that'll fly you to most of the main areas. So also an option. But again, if you have a family, then you're paying 4 times, 5 times the price. Just 2 of you, more doable and makes it more cost efficient. Belize, not a huge fan of Belize. I've been there again with a significant other. It's just a touch of a letdown. I'd much rather go to Nosara or Samara or Manuel Antonio or Sayulita. I haven't been here, but my friend Anthony, he went to St. Lucia for his honeymoon. They have a baby on the way, so I mean, it has to has to mean something, right? They're doing something on the right path of love. It looks like the most amazing place on earth. I was looking to go there, but it was just hard, like flights, and it just, I didn't have a lot of time. It was for more of like a long weekend trip. I think I went to Silita instead, but you definitely need some time to get there. It's a little bit harder flying to from the West Coast, but it's got nature, it's got beaches. I researched the hell out of it, and it looks incredible. So if you're on the East Coast or you have more time, check out St. Lucia. It looks remarkable. And then, of course, wineries, wine locations, wine regions. That's the word I'm looking for. Napa, Sonoma. Those are obviously great places to go for romance. Who doesn't like wine trips? I just get bored. Like, Sedona's nice. The wine is not nearly as good as any of those places. To be honest, the Sedona wine, but I love going to the wineries. It's like going to, I don't know, a baseball game. I hate baseball, but I go to the game. I enjoy it. It's better than that because I do like wine, even shitty wine. I mean, it's wine, right? It's like pizza, baby. It's good no matter how you get it, aside from deep dish. Fuck deep dish. I went this whole thing without swearing. I'm sorry. Then I did it right at the end. My mom will be mad. Not Cancun. Don't go to Cancun. Do not go to Cabo. I've got a whole podcast coming. We'll wrap this up. I think the next podcast is going to be the 4 places to never go to never travel to. And I just slipped one that could be it. I just went to another place that you should never travel to, which will be in this podcast, and made me think, oh, I should tell people of these places not to go and where to go instead, which I told you a few places to go already instead of those other places. But anyways, romantic trips. Happy Valentine's Day. If you're listening to this in 7 days, happy 7 days after Valentine's Day. This is the greatest podcast in the universe, most likely. Fraser Laveay, inspiretravel.eat.com. Enjoy your 8 days after Valentine's Day if you're listening to that then. And any other days, just add on that day, that number, and you'll get the same. I'm not a math guy, sorry. I never have been, never claimed to be.